Well, hello. Welcome. I am Merle's sister, Marnie. Thank you for coming and watching the celebration of Merle's incredible life. Many of you have been involved with her in various aspects of her life, and you will hear about them through her friends and colleagues. A little family history. Our parents were Morris and Mildred Sharfstein from Yonkers, New York. Then a beautiful daughter arrived, and they named her Merle. Then another daughter arrived, and my mom liked the M's, so she named her Marnie. Then another daughter arrived. Well, by now you can guess. She was named Mindy. We were the 5 M's. Morris, Mildred, Merle, Marnie, Mindy. You can only imagine. In Yonkers, the 3 of us were known as the Sharfstein girls, which was a very good thing, except that actually, even though we were 3, we were one. One of heart, one of mind, and one of love. We were always there for each other, no matter what, no matter when. We always knew we had each other. For our mother, family always came first. She always made sure during the holidays that everyone would come to our home where everyone felt welcome. After our mother passing away, Merle carried on this tradition and became the matriarch of the family. She made our gatherings filled with fun, games, lots of food, and laughter. One new tradition she added was making a calendar each year. Oh, how she loved making that calendar. You would think this might be a simple project of choosing some photos and placing them in each month, but you would be so wrong. She made sure they were calendar worthy. And now she was so right. I realize what a wonderful memento it is to have our family's history recorded as the children grew and while we were always together. Our father was a singer, and so whenever we went for a drive, we all sang along with him. Could we belt out those show tunes? Well, of course, Merle, later on in life, took it to a whole other level. As you know, whatever Merle took on, it was never halfway. The same went for her singing. At the age of 80, she performed her cabaret with songs, stories of life, heart, and laughter. She was fabulous. Thank you, Merle, for being a loving sister, wife, mother, and grandmother, and a caring friend to all. We love you, and we'll never forget you. Now, I would like to introduce a fantastic man, Dan Manjovi. He's a musician, composer, lyricist, and her former teacher. His new show that he's performing, Breach, it's a dramedy, will be held at the Fresh Fruit Festival at 195th East 3rd Street on April 29th, 30th, and May 2nd. And I know it'll be fantastic and wonderful because he is. So I now give you Dan Manjovi.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you, Marnie. And a shout out to Marnie and Joanna and the family for really organizing this event today. Was very honored to be sort of asked to be part of it, and I was very close to Merle. Our friendship spanned almost 20 years. She had come into my singing class where I was teaching at the time at HB Studio, and we developed an instant rapport. And as Marnie mentioned, she didn't do anything halfway. She really took to the singing, wanted to learn more about it, got a lot out of it. And something else that I noticed almost instantly, she was just such a people person. She loved being with people, and we sort of developed a community of singers that later became the studio that we formed, and she was a was and is, I should say, a big part of that community. She was always there, not just for events that concerned her, but if somebody was doing an event, she'd be there. If someone needed help, she'd be there. And so it was very easy for her to become her friend and to become close to her. And we developed a very special bond that, I will cherish. And Marnie mentioned her show, which I helped put together with her. And one of the things that, if you know about Merle, she was certainly, in a lot of ways, a woman who was very much ahead of her time. And she was always a strong advocate for women. And I think it was somewhat reflected in her song choices from time to time. So what I put together today are two songs, a little medley, actually, ironically, both by the same songwriting team. And they both are songs about the strength of women. So here we go. Never know how much I love you. Never know how much I care. When you put your arms around me, I get a fever that's so hard to bear. You give me fever. She did this song. When you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight. Fever in the morning, fever all through the night. Sun lights up the daytime, moon lights up the night. I light up when you call my name, and I know I'm gonna treat you right. You give me fever when you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight. Fever in the morning, fever all through the night. Everybody's got the fever, that is something you all know. Fever isn't such a new thing. Fever started long ago. Captain Smith and Pocahontas had a very mad affair. And when her daddy tried to kill him, she said, "Daddy, oh, don't you dare, he gives me fever with his kisses, fever when he holds me tight. Fever, and I'm his missus. Daddy, won't you treat him right? What a lovely way to burn. What a lovely way to burn. What a lovely way to burn." If you come to me sickly, you know I'm gonna make you well. Come to me all hexed up, you know I'm gonna break the spell. If you come to me hungry, you know I'm gonna fill you full of grits. If it's loving you liking, baby, I'm gonna give you the shivering fits. 'Cause I'm a woman, W-O-M-A-N. I'll say it again. Yeah, I'm a woman, W-O-M-A-N. W-O-M-A-N. I got a $20 gold piece, and there ain't nothing I can do. I can make a dress out of a feed bag and make a man out of you. I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it right. I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it right, 'cause I'm a woman. W-O-M-A-N. I'll say it again, 'cause I'm a woman. W-O-M-A-N. And that's all. Thank you very much. So those were all two songs. Those were songs that, among many songs that Merle sang during the years in our class. So they were special to her, and I thought you'd enjoy hearing them. All right. So we've got many people who would like to say a few words and contribute to this celebration. So I'd like to bring up right now Gabrielle Brooks, please. You can applaud.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Gabrielle. I'm an old friend of Joanna's, and I'm very honored to read on Joanna's behalf something actually that Merle wrote herself 20 years ago in 2006. As many of you know, Merle was part of a study group. I actually imagine some of you are here today. That was very important to her. A group that met regularly for decades to talk about the world, to read books, share ideas, and raise consciousness, especially about the women's movement. I gather that occasionally the members would go on a weekend retreat and be given a specific writing assignment, and then they would come together later and share. It seems at this retreat they must have been talking about transitions, about looking at who we have been, how we remember ourselves, and what about us endures over the passage of time. I think it will be very clear why Joanna wanted to share this today, to hear, remember, and celebrate Merle's bold, generous, often hilarious, always whip-smart, utterly singular voice. Retreat, 2006. Merle Sharfstein, where are you? He was in motion as soon as I entered the ballroom. "Merle Sharfstein," he shouted, "I'd know you anywhere." What an ego boost, and what a way to begin my 50th high school reunion, celebrated at the Westchester Marriott last weekend. The he in question turned out to be Joel Strone, who I did not remember, but who is now the president of the Liberace Museum and Foundation in Las Vegas. A nice Jewish boy from Yonkers, who would have thought? I was looking forward to the reunion, but had far more fun than I anticipated. The "I would have recognized you anywhere" refrain echoed throughout the evening as we talked, ate, and danced to Earth Angel. I have to admit that except for my close girlfriends, I don't think I would have recognized anyone. But fortunately, we were wearing name tags with our high school photo, and with that as a help, the classmates from 50 years ago did eventually emerge. So given the coincidence of my reunion and the topic of this retreat, I thought I would use my yearbook photo as the jumping-off point to look for the Merle Sharfstein that everyone recognized. With my high school yearbook as a primary source, here's what I learned. Merle Sharfstein, nicknamed Merlin, was somewhat below the in-crowd radar. Not a cheerleader, but there she is, playing the glockenspiel in the high school marching band. Not a scholar, but smiling in the front row of the Honor Society. Not an outstanding senior, but the winner of the $100 PTA scholarship. Not a yearbook editor, but a good enough contributor to the school newspaper that her guidance counselor recommended applying to Syracuse University for its journalism department. Not a star, but what's this? Merle Sharfstein appeared in the sophomore, junior, and senior variety shows. And there she is, on the front page of the Yonkers Herald Tribune, looking like she stepped straight out of a chorus line. Joel, remember him, had saved the newspaper article and brought a copy to the reunion. Back in 1956, knowing absolutely nothing about choreography, Merle Sharfstein choreographed a routine where a dozen or so young women, garbed in high heels, black stockings, black shorts, black sweaters, white scarves, and long white gloves, stepped out, somewhat seductively, to Earl Hagen's unforgettably sultry Harlem Nocturne. Her memory is that they brought down the house. William Bridges writes about the various kinds of transitions that occur throughout one's life. The transition from high school to college was a major one for me. I arrived alone in Syracuse by train with one large green suitcase and one small matching hat box, and took a taxi to my dorm. I was as unsophisticated as they come. My biggest cultural experience had been attending a concert starring Phil Spitolini and his all-girl orchestra, featuring Evelyn and her magic violin, along with Peg Leg Bates, at Radio City Music Hall with my father. I had seen the original production of Oklahoma, but had never set foot in an art museum or read a newspaper that didn't have a full-page photo on the cover. I was in for quite a shock. In my freshman year, I was sent to speech class where they cured the Yonkers accent I didn't even know I had. In her college years, Merle Sharfstein abandons the glockenspiel along with her Yonkers accent. She begins to craft a new identity and comes into view on the radar screen. It takes her a while to realize that all the girls on her dorm floor are Jewish, and even longer to understand that this is on purpose. She is an oddity, a Catholic Sharfstein. How many times will she have to explain that her father is Jewish but her mother Catholic? Is she the only one so schizophrenic? She thinks this division is ridiculous and wrong. Her idea of taking a stand is to visit both Jewish and non-Jewish sororities during Pledge Week and not tell them what she is. It is surprising how this disconcerts people. As a sophomore, she pledges Alpha Phi, the one sorority that doesn't seem to care. As a junior, she becomes president of that sorority, vice president of the student government, and a member of Eta Pi Upsilon, the Women's Honor Society. She thinks she has become sophisticated, though she is one of the few who believe that the girls who went home with pneumonia and never came back actually had pneumonia. She was shocked to find out they had babies instead. William Bridges says that to complete a transition, you need to let go of the person you used to be and then find the new person you need to become. If he is correct, I am still in transition. I never completely let go of Merle Sharfstein. Her need to belong, her humor, her on-stage quality, and her pluck have served me well. In her were the beginning of leadership skills and a belief in fairness and justice that were ready and willing to embrace the women's movement. Merle Sharfstein, I'm happy to say I would recognize her anywhere.
Thank you. And now I'd like to bring up Mr. Jonathan Kuhn.
I'm going to sing a song in a moment, but just a few things first. First to Merle. Good for you. You lived your life on your own terms, and you exited on your own terms, and we loved you for it. I met Merle 15 years ago in Dan's class at the HB studio. I found myself in the Friday class, and established an immediate bond with her. We in turn moved to Tuesday, where we stayed for 14 years, and became fast friends, thick as thieves. We'd exchange laments on the state of the world and the latest gossip, and honed our skills, furtive skills and glances in Dan's class. Merle was a master. She'd arch an eyebrow or roll an eye, and her hand gestures were incomparable when she spoke and when she sang. This periodic dinners at the bus stop cafe with some of you who are here too solidified the friendship, and then it got even richer during the pandemic We'd meet once a week or every other week and turn a park bench at 91st Street in Riverside Park into our living room, bring our bag lunch, socially distanced 6 feet at either end of the bench. And it gave both of us a lot of solace. When Merle was downsizing her palatial, leaving her palatial apartment on the Upper West Side and unloading possessions, and I've lately learned that I need to unload some of mine, she gave me this. It belonged to Morris, her father. It's a Cole Porter compendium. And I was working on the first song in this when we lost her. And so, Merle, I'd like to put the song on its feet. As Dorothy Parker once said to her boyfriend, fare thee well. As Columbus announced when he knew he was bounced, it was swell, Isabel, swell. As Abelard said to Eloise, don't forget to drop a line to me, please. As Juliet cried in her Romeo's ear, Romeo, why not expect, my dear? It was just one of those things, just one of those fabulous things that now and then rings. Just one of those things. It was just one of those nights, just one of those fabulous flights, a trip to the moon on gossamer wings. Just one of those things. If we thought a bit of the end of it when we started painting the town, we'd have been aware that our love affair was too hot not to cool down. So goodbye, dear, and amen. Here's hoping we meet now and then. It was great fun, but it was just one of those things. If we thought a bit of the end of it when we started painting the town, we'd have been aware that our love affair was too hot not to cool down. So goodbye, dear, and amen. Here's hoping we meet now and then. It was great fun, but it was just one of those things.
And Jonathan Kuhn. Thank you, Jonathan. And now I think Barbara Sprung would like to say a few words.
Can you hear? Okay. This tribute to Merle started as a piece that I wrote for her retirement party from FHI 360 at the end of 2024. There has been much water under the bridge since then, and I have needed to turn my comments into a eulogy twice over since January 19th of this year. But the words still capture much about the woman she was and our history together. There is so much to say about Merle that it's difficult to know where to begin. However, since we've been long-term colleagues and devoted friends for nearly 50 years, I better begin somewhere. Even though I'm a few years older than Merle, and I wasn't there when she was born, but believe me, she was born a feminist. That little girl with the long brown braids took no nonsense. Actually, I met Merle in the early 70s when she was working at the Feminist Press to write women into the middle and high school curriculum, and I was at the Women's Action Alliance working to remove sex role stereotyping from preschool curriculum. Where it was already rife. Our work converged in the early 1980s when we formed Educational Equity Concepts, and then in 2001, later merged with AED, the Academy for Educational Development, and then merged again into Family Health International, known as FHI 360. In all the years I knew Merle, she never deviated from the challenge to make positive change for girls, for women, for underrepresented groups, and especially for girls and women with disabilities. She was at it until the end of her life, and it's been my privilege to make that journey with her. Merle embodied phrases that were watchwords for us in the feminist movement. You go, girl. Hang in there, baby. And one statement written by a colleague of ours that I have always loved: in every generation, action fuels our work. After her retirement, when she had to confront a bout of serious health issues, our relationship grew into another phase. We became quieter and closer, and in a way more determined not to let our efforts for educational equity fade into oblivion. On almost every Sunday, we worked on a memoir documenting for our children, grandchildren, and in my case, great-grandchildren, and our many colleagues, the huge body of work that we had assembled. We have copies of the books here and a way to reach the book online. If anybody wants it, please help yourself. In closing, I can only say this: Merle was my confidant. She was my colleague. She was my dearest friend. And I learned in later times to call her my frister. That is as true as a close friend can be to a sister. I miss her every day, and I am bereft.
Thank you, Barbara. And let's please welcome Liz Phillips, please. Thank you.
Although the reason we are all here is very sad, it's really wonderful to be with so many people who loved Merle and whom she loved, and to celebrate such an incredibly rich and meaningful life. I'm sure I am not the only one here who can't quite believe that Merle is no longer with us. How is it possible that she will not be at our next study group meeting, our next Feminist Express Zoom at the beach this summer? I'm up here speaking for myself, of course, but also on behalf of the other 7 members of our study group that Merle was a part of for 48 years: Alice, Betsy, Florence, Nan, Nancy, Susan, and Sandy, and all of us who worked with Merle at the Feminist Press in the 1970s, including Brett, Carol, Phyllis, Renice, Sharon, and Sandy. I first met Merle 50 years ago when I joined the Feminist Press, where she was an essential member of the staff, a leader in this staff of equals. Working at the press in the 1970s, which then operated as a collective, where all of us, no matter what our job, made the same amount of money, $12,000. It was an immersive experience. We became very close. We believed so strongly in the work we were doing, but also we had a lot of fun together. We had special lunches in the backyard of our house on the campus of SUNY Old Westbury, which was our office. We also had parties at people's houses, especially those members of the press who lived in Long Island. I have so many memories of those parties and of Merle at them because Merle was always at the center of both the work and the fun. But one that stands out and seems particularly significant given the direction Merle's life went in was one that was themed on songs that ruined our lives. And it featured wonderful songs such as Going to the Chapel and Gonna Get Married. We had such fun singing them, and I picture Merle there belting out the songs, laughing at the same time. The ties were so strong that when all of us left the press over 40 years ago, we continued meeting as the Feminist Express. When we met in person, it was almost always at Merle's beautiful Upper West Side apartment with takeout Chinese food, and it was Merle who organized our meetings. While at the Feminist Press, a few of us decided we wanted to form a study group to read and discuss new nonfiction books that were being published. That was 48 years ago, and we've read and discussed hundreds of books, gone on many retreats. You heard one of the essays from one of our retreats, which was such a treat to hear. And some of those retreats were at Merle's wonderful beach house in Amagansett. We've evolved over the years, but one thing remains the same, and that is the significance of the group to all of us. Looking through pictures of our retreats and trips these last couple of months has brought back so many wonderful memories of Merle. In an email she sent just a couple of days before she died, Merle wrote, "I want to affirm that the group remains," and this is in all caps, "extremely important to me." Now, one thing very bizarre happened to me this morning, and I think one thing Merle and I shared is we're both realists, but something happened, something came up on my phone that was so shocking. It was, you know how those random pictures sometimes come up? It was a picture of us, of Merle and our study group on a retreat in Woodstock. It was really quite shocking to see it. We all had ties with Merle that were related to the group, our commitment to social justice, a kind of inside joke, our lust for theory, and our experiences as mothers and grandmothers. But we also each had some special and unique ties. For several, it was through the love of music. We remember the joy Merle got out of singing and her wonderful concerts. One member remembers in particular the Juneteenth performance. For some, the connection was through writing, living in Manhattan, being a widow. For others, it was the history of shared work at the Feminist Press and time on the East End. Within the study group and our Feminist Express group, Merle's incredible organizational skills always stood out. She was smart, kind, clear-headed, and very accomplished. She also did a great job leading us in yoga at retreats and had a wonderful sense of humor and a fabulous laugh. Merle was such a good friend, thought partner, mother, and grandmother. She was sensible and down to earth, but always fun-loving, and she was so dedicated to working for equity. Merle understood intersectionality long before it came into the popular lexicon. We are so fortunate that she and Barbara completed their book before Merle died, leaving behind such a clear picture of one extremely important aspect of her life. Merle opened the remarkable cabaret she produced for her 80th birthday with a few humorous lines that some of us are still quoting. The 80s, she said, are the good for you years. You still drive at night? Good for you. You have all your knees and hips? Good for you. Merle, good for you for the incredibly full and meaningful life you led, for all that you gave to your friends and family, for the work you did promoting equity, for the way in which you dealt with adversity. Not so good for the rest of us, though, that you are no longer with us. We miss you terribly, but you have had a profound impact on all of us, and we will not forget you.
Thank you. And let's please welcome Winston Samuel, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is going to be a challenge, but okay. I have a trillion memories about Merle, but one that stands out is her incredible sense of humor. And when she sang a song, I would sit in the front row and I would be just cracking up, and she would sing specifically to me because she loved to watch me crack up. And it's, I'm the laziest gal in town, and nobody can do it like Merle. This next song just expresses my profound feelings about Merle. Sorry, this is a challenge. I think I'll do it a cappella. So sorry about that. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan. I touch your hands and my arms grow strong, like a pair of birds that burst with song. My eyes look down at your lovely face, and I hold the world in my embrace. Younger than springtime are you, softer than starlight are you, warmer than winds of June are the gentle lips you gave me. Gayer than laughter are you, sweeter than music are you, angel and love are heaven and am I, angel and lover, heaven and earth, am I with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Winston. And now let's bring up Mindy Peliquin.
Again. You know, I sat there listening to everybody, and it occurs to me that a lot of Merle I didn't know. And the reason is because I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but she was 12 years older than myself. So the joke around the Sharfstein's household was when I was going to kindergarten, she was going to college. So there was a lot of years between us. And I think I missed out on a lot listening to everybody here. But I didn't miss out on her. She taught me a lot, especially about, I think it was a year ago, Merle and I were sitting in her living room at Amagansett. Everybody, I don't know, had maybe gone to drink or sleep or whatever. And she and I were sitting there and just, kind of quiet. And all of a sudden, we started this rapport. And it went on and on and on. And it was for almost 2 hours. We talked and just talked. And somehow I finally got to know who she was, which was pretty amazing. I mean, our whole family was amazing, but Merle especially. She knew, like everybody said, how to make people laugh. Yeah, I think she got that from Daddy, don't you? Yeah, he was a comedian too. And as far as the matriarchy, that was definitely, as my other sister said, from our mother. My mother instilled that into her. And I'm gonna miss that. It was a lot of fun getting together with them. And, it's been such a serious, how long? Wait a minute. Almost an hour. And I've gone through quite a few tissues, but I'm determined not to. I'm going to add a little, how can I say this, joy to this room, okay? I don't want to see any more tears. I don't want to hear anybody, that, no more of that. Because I know my sister would not have wanted that, no. And, I still, deep inside, I haven't really let go. And I don't think I ever want to, because she was very special. Special to Marnie, to myself, Joanna, Michael, Amy, everybody, the whole mishpacha, as they say. So I just want to end with maybe a little laughter and humor, if you don't mind. It's clean. The jokes are clean. Trust me, okay? I wouldn't do that because Merle would really get upset at me. So it's not going to be that. But every year when we went to Amagansett, and we had a great time. We really did. It was a lot of fun. We go to the beach. We get sunburned. We go back. We'd have mimosas. No, that was in the morning. We would have mojitos, right? The mojitos. I'll never forget the first time Merle made me a mojito. I didn't know what the heck it was. I said, okay, I'll have one. So, I'm sorry. So she comes out with this, with this tall glass, and it's all green. And I'm saying, okay, what is in that? So she gives it to me, and I said, oh, thank you so much, smiling as I try to do. And I look at it, and it was all mint. Nothing but mint leaves in there. And I think it was the first one she tried to make. Maybe it was. But I told her it was the best mojito I ever had. And it was special, but I kind of took out some of the mint leaves, so I didn't want to choke on them. But that was her, always her. And what else? What else was always her? Come on. What was it, Marnie? What did she always make for us at the bar? Zucchini soup. Now, for those of you who don't, well, I'm sure you know what zucchini soup is, but that was Merle's. She was so proud of her zucchini soup. And it was pretty darn good, I must admit. It wasn't too bad. And she made that from her heart. That was love. That zucchini soup was always there. Every year we went, she made that soup. And it was just something that we always looked forward to. And I don't want to break that tradition. No way, Jose. And she always had a yellow bowl, right? Remember the yellow bowl? Do you remember that? Huh, Ben? Yeah? Okay. She always had the yellow bowl, and that's where the zucchini soup was in. And every year, once that yellow bowl came out, we knew it. Zucchini soup time! Yes! We were so excited. So I didn't really want to break the tradition too much. So anyways, I'm going to introduce my daughter. Get up here. This is Amy Mariano. Get up here, I said. Get your little tushy up here. So, okay.
I don't know what's in the bag. I'm just putting it out to the universe. I have no idea what's in the bag.
So, as Amy was growing up, what did you have to eat every night? TV dinners. I was not the best cook. Never, ever the best cook. So I figured if I was going to try to make this zucchini soup, I needed some help. Because there's no way. I actually looked in the supermarket for like a Campbell's zucchini soup, but they didn't make zucchini soup in a can. So what I did, I have some bubble wrap. Okay. So what I did is I found, ready? The yellow bowl. Okay? I got the yellow bowl. Well, there's something else in there. So, Amy, I am passing the yellow bowl on to you.
I don't think so.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
What do I get to do?
So, here's her yellow bowl. And then we need zucchini. So, I bought her some zucchini seeds. Yes. She's going to grow zucchini.
She just bought it at the farmer's market. It's easier than growing.
Nuh-uh. You got a green thumb. She's very good. So I'm passing the zucchini seeds onto my daughter.
Thanks. No pressure.
No pressure.
You're funny.
I love you.
You're funny.
But yeah, so I anticipate the next time we go out to Amagansett, that yellow bowl will be filled. And you're going to plan. I'm not helping you. And it'll be filled with the love of Merle, the help of Merle, I hope. She better help you. And the love of everybody. You guys are just so awesome. And like I said, I've learned a lot today from everyone. And it's really nice to know who Merle was. I had my own vision, but you guys showed me a whole new vision, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Bye.
Thank you, Mindy. And let's bring up Michelle Herman.
So it's hard to pinpoint when an acquaintance, singing classmate of my husband Jonathan, who you just heard, grows into a close friend. I do know that it started on Friday nights during the time of the skate wing special, no sauce please, Merle would always say. We were all crammed into our table at the bus stop cafe with Dan and Dana and Susan and the Falcos and the others when Mike and Big Mike held court, and it took some doing to get a word in, but we got many words in. And before long, every season was marked out in dates with Merle. At open mics, so many blessed in-person open mics, that low voice with its charming warble and its touch of Yonkers, those long, thin hands that 1 minute self-effaced and the next lifted the lid off the suggestive lyrics of those old blues numbers that suited her so well. Then I would wait for the smile that would break out like a little kid's when the song was done. One time, she and I arranged our own museum date with Leonard Cohen at the Jewish Museum, where there was a room off to the side with headphones which you could put on and be recorded for a group project, and we sang Hallelujah. Of course we did. Even I, the reluctant singer, comfortable beside her, let it rip. You've already heard a little bit about this, but Saturdays in the winter of 2021, when the light was wan and we were wrapped in down, we three, my husband and Merle and I, created one of my favorites of the makeshift rituals that got us through the pandemic. 6 feet apart on adjacent benches in Riverside Park. We pulled out the sandwiches we'd packed. Hers always kind of small and monk-like, ours overflowing and making a big mess. And how are the kids? We'd ask each other. What are you binge watching? Isn't Zoom annoying? Thank heaven Trump is gone. And yes, Leonard, there is a crack in everything. Merle had moved downtown near us, and we were so looking forward to a tour of her new place, followed by many diner dinners. But she had to keep postponing. Family was in town, then a bad reaction to a new med. The news came on a Tuesday, no less. Merle would not be in class ever again. She and I had a running joke about her tiny fan base, because she was too modest to know that her fans numbered in the thousands. For those of us who knew and loved her, because with her the first couldn't help lead to the second, Merle will always be in class, and on that bench in Riverside Park at the appointed hour, and across the table at the diner. Thanks.
Thank you, Michelle. And let's call up Lenny Tabb right now.
Hi, I'm Lenny, and I met Merle in singing class some years ago, and I didn't know her that well, but we had a connection. And from what I've heard today, I wish I had known her better. Merle was a very supportive and committed member of the singing class. She showed up even when she was not feeling that well, especially recently. Merle touched us with her songs, her optimism, and her friendship. And to say that she's sorely missed is an understatement. I was very fortunate to see the cabaret show that she did, which was referenced earlier, and it was wonderful. She created a show in which she was chasing dreams and placing bets. That's Merle. She created a show in which there were a variety of songs, and she shared some personal stories. It was a very memorable evening. And there was a celebratory dinner afterwards. Maybe it was on a different day, but it was after the show. And we had a chance to meet Merle's family, some of whom are here today. Recently, when Merle returned to class after her stay in the hospital, she was so happy to be back in class, to see everybody, to connect, and to share a tune. And the song that she sang reflected her resilience and optimism in the face of setbacks. And I'd like to share that song with you now. Okay. Nothing's impossible, I have found, for when my chin is on the ground, I pick myself up, dust myself off, start all over again. Don't lose your confidence if you remember for a finger slip. Just pick yourself up, dust yourself off, start all over again. Work like a soul inspired till the battle of the day is won. You may be sick and tired, but you'll be happy when the job is done. Do you remember the famous men who had to fall to rise again? Just pick yourself up, dust yourself off, start all over again. Work like a soul inspired till the battle of the day is won. You may be sick and tired, but you'll be happy when the job is done. Do you remember the famous men who had to fall to rise again? Just take a deep breath, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, start all over again.
Thank you, Lenny. And let's bring up Dana Mesh now, say a few words.
Thank you, Dan. So I was fortunate to be another member of Dan's singing class, where Merle and I became friends. And then for the last 7 or so years, we've also lived near each other on the Upper West Side. And we'd occasionally meet at the local diner, the Metro Diner, when she was up for it. And I visited her some post-hospital stay as well. And what a blessing for me. We had an opportunity to work on several songs together as a trio with another singing class colleague who couldn't make it today. And we did Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy and a fun song from Company, You Could Drive a Person Crazy. When I was thinking about the few words I wanted to share today about Merle, all I could think of was just so many characteristics of her, which everyone has emulated today, but I just need to say them again out loud. Determination, resilience, humanity, strength. And I remember she shared with me something that her granddaughter said about no one messes with grandma. And oh my goodness, that is so true. I said, Merle, that is you. She said, I don't really think of myself that way. I said, no, that is you, and I love it. Her grit. I need to share a specific story that that Merle and I had experienced together, because it was very meaningful to me and to her. So another friend of ours had passed a few years ago, Anthony Paccione, and Anthony and Dan were were instrumental in putting together a 90th birthday party for Anthony, which was absolutely lovely. And then in early 2022, Merle and I went to go visit Anthony's ashes, where he's buried at Cathedral St. John the Divine on the Upper West Side in Morningside Heights area. And it was something we decided to do. We said, let's go see Anthony. This was, actually it was right after my mom passed, so I remember it very clearly. And if for anyone who's ever been there, it's a magnificent space. It's huge. There's a lot going on there. There's also often construction going on. And we had some difficulty actually finding where his ashes were buried. And we consulted some people along the way. We finally found ourselves in a space which we didn't know where he was. We didn't know exactly where he was, but something unusual happened where we walked into a corridor and we both looked at each other at the same time and we both had the chills, and we knew Anthony was there with us. Whether you believe who's here, whether they're here, they're spiritual, they're physical, but it was a most amazing, beautiful experience that she and I shared together. And I will never forget that. And it was something that neither she or I think typically talk about mystical things, or typically had, talked about things that you can't see and feel, because she was all about seeing and feeling and doing, right? What everyone talked about in her life's work. But it was an absolutely amazing, beautiful thing that we had together. So we stepped into this space, felt this really strange thing, and looked at each other at the same time. And a few steps forward, we found where our good friend is laid to rest. And I think Merle is with us. She's with me. I feel it. All I can say is Merle is an inspiration to me, and I'm so grateful to see all the beautiful friends and family here today and be able to experience her with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dana. And now we'd like to bring up the choir that Merle sang with for many years.
Briefly, good afternoon. I'm Gary Bartholomew. I'm here with the collegiate singers of a portion of the collegiate singers of New York. We sprang from a singing group from the collegiate school on the west side of Manhattan. Merle was a beloved member of this group, sang this particular piece, which we'll do for you this afternoon, on a number of occasions, and we sing this with love for Merle and great remembrance of her time with us. She was a real gem and a valued member of the organization. We're going to sing a short piece by Mozart, Ave Verum Corpus, and one of our members, Ellen Farron, is accompanying us on the piano. Thanks.
So we've got one more item on today's program, and it's going to be a little video montage of pictures from Merle's wonderful and fabulous and incredible life. Accompanying that will be a song that was prominently featured in the cabaret show that has been talked about in honor of her 80th birthday. And so after that, we'll repair to what is known as the living room up these stairs, and there'll be some refreshments. But before we do, I just want to once again please give a round of applause for Marnie and Merle's family. And everybody who spoke today, and please let's just give it up for Merle. She was and always will be beloved in all the walks of life that we saw on display here today. So, okay, and we'll begin that now. When lonely feelings chill the meadows of your mind, just think when winter comes, can spring be far behind? Beneath the deepest snow, the secret of a rose is merely that it knows you must believe in spring. Just as a tree is sure its leaves will reappear, it knows its emptiness is just a time of year. The frozen mountain dreams of April's melting streams, how crystal clear it seems. You must believe in spring. You must believe in spring and trust it's on its way. Just as the sleeping rose awaits the kiss of May, so in a world of snow, of things that come and go, where what we think we know we can't be certain of, we must believe in spring. You must believe in love and trust it's on its way. Just as the sleeping rose awaits the kiss of May, so in a world of snow, of things that come and go, where what you think you know, we can't be certain of. We must believe in spring and love. Thank you, everybody.